And this is the view the athletes will get from pretty much near the top. Podkalen 3 course starting 1141 metres up, finishing at 836 metres. 842 metre course, 39 gates to try and master. And the masters of the VI event are coming up first. Miroslav Herreos. We've also got Giacomo Bertagnoli, who is of course the Paralympic champion. Herreos will get us underway. Santacana, Mestegui, Lana, Burton, a whole host of names as we get going with the very first run of the morning. Miroslav Herreos, he and his guide Maros Hudik. And it will be all about setting the competitive time on the journey to taking this vision impaired classification. Now you'll see on the right hand side of your screen the factored time. All of these athletes are classified B1, B2 or B3. The B1 athletes have the least visual acuity, B3 have the highest. The time is factored, so your average stopwatch won't get the correct time for these guys. Calculation is put together and the time that they get has been factored to that number to the bottom right of your screen. Herreos and Hudik from Slovakia crossing the line, and we are officially underway with the World Championships here in Kranjska Gora. .103.10 for Herreos, and this is the Paralympic champion. Giacomo Bertagnoli. Just 19, and it was a home World Championships that threw him into the limelight in Tarvisio. Stephen was saying a little bit earlier, just 25, half an hour, minutes away, down the road, through the border, where this young man in 2017, combined with his guide Fabrizio Casal, picked up victory in the super combined. Silver in the giant slalom on that occasion. Can the young Italian match his giant slalom Paralympic gold and add a world title to that as well? He's inside Herreos at both the intermediate times so far, barring a mistake in the bottom half, and the Italians do have a few mistakes in their history. Only last week at the World Cup event in Zagreb, Casal lost a ski in a second run, but no mistakes this time. Good start for Bertagnoli. 101.64, 1.46 seconds up on Miroslav Herreos. Talked about the experience of Jon Santacana Mestegui in that opening link. He's just been there, done it, got the bib, if you like. Guided by Miguel Garcés, a long-time guide for Santacana Mestegui. Very much down at this stage of proceedings. Two Spaniards approaching the finish here. They'll be very much hoping to have been a lot closer than that, but 3.5 is the difference. So Mestegui finds himself down, and whilst he's experienced, he isn't the oldest on the mountain this morning. This is Geno Buggenfurt's partner, Josef Lana. We'll see Geno a little bit later on. Josef Lana, very much new to us. His guide, Frans Ergarte. Just 0.07 down at the first intermediate time. Austrians are throwing a few surprises at the Alpine season. Veronica Eigner, just 15, won both of the Slalom World Cup legs in Zagreb last week. She's just 15, so can't compete here. And Josef Lana is just 0.94 down. Number 4 bib around the body, but Lana currently in second position, 0.94 the difference between the Austrian and Bertagnoli. As we get our first look at the American Kevin Burton. New guide for Kevin Burton. This is Kurt Grimmelman. Former guides Brandon Ashby and Chris Tatsuno. So a brand new guide for Kevin Burton. Competed in 2014's games as a cross-country, para-cross-country athlete and a para-biathlon athlete. And got a 5th place in the Super Combined in Pyeongchang in Alpine. So double Paralympian, yet to medal, but that 5th place showed just how close he will be. Did the same in Torresio, a couple of 5th place finishes. Those came in the Super Combined and the Super G. So Burton and Grimmelman, it's not to be their run this time out. Some 8.5 seconds back on our leader Bertagnoli. As mentioned earlier, saw Jon Santacana Mestegui early doors. 50-year-old, or 53-year-old Geno Murrenvoet passes him in terms of age on paper, but he's only been really competing since last year's World Cup. He ended up in Pyeongchang, a dream of a first season for Murrenvoet and his guide Christoph Meiner. And a 4th place in the Super Combined, just 1 place away from picking up a Paralympic medal in his very first outing, would, I am sure, have capped a marvellous season for Geno. Austrian from Bleiburg. Into the final 3 gates he comes, and through the line. 7.3 seconds back. Perhaps knows that could have gone better. This is Thomas Savard from France, just 17. Myself and Stephen were talking at the beginning of the program about changes after a Paralympic Games. The cycle changes around and you have retirements, you have new athletes altogether. Some just change their guide. Seems strange to have a major championship without Canada's Mac Marcoux. He and Jack Leach no longer together. Mac now injured as well, so get well soon to Mac Marcoux. I'm sure he'll be watching on and taking note of the competitors and friends. It's a long old tour. They live in each other's back pockets much of the time. So, 17-year-old Savard looking to make a decent debut. He's got a long way in front. Ivan Lamed. So it works for them. That's not a bad time, you know. Savard putting in a good shift on his debut and getting in front of Morgenfurt and Burton. Jakub Krakow now, the 8th of 13 athletes in the men's VI. You're wondering how it's all done. Again, these VI athletes have a differing level of impairment. Krakow is categorized in the middle. He's a B2 athlete. All of the guides and the athletes themselves have a microphone. All done by the magic of Bluetooth. They can speak to each other. But, predominantly it's the guide doing the talking and the athlete doing the listening, but should the athlete have a problem, he has the ability to talk back as well. Some of the B1 athletes, and we have one in Marek Kubacka coming up in a moment, will find that they have a speaker as well on the back of their guide, so that they can follow the sound, not just the instructions. That some of these guys in the B2, B3 will have a level vision. Across the line comes Jakub Krakow, 4:58 behind. You see the difference in the start procedure as well. Marek Kubacka's guide, Maria Zatovikova, is allowed to start in front of Marek because he's following the sound, not just the instructions. So totally different style. Again, the factor time on the bottom right you'll see is significantly different to the gentlemen that have already been. A little wide there from Marek. You expect a different line from those in the B1 classification. Again, these athletes linked together, but the field is leveled by those factored times. But a lot of research and investigations into the VI classification. Interesting to see what the future holds. Right now, Kubacka has his guide, and their job is to get down as quick as they can. 0.41 the difference at the intermediate. Again, if you're timing this on a standard stopwatch, it won't make any sense whatsoever. You have to have the calculation with that factored time. And whilst it is dramatically slower than some of those that have gone before, with the factored time, he's in the mix here, 1.28 for Marek Kranjska so far. 30-year-old from Dolny Kubin in Slovakia. Into the final few gates then. Through the line he comes. It's a huge round of applause. You very often find that the B1 athletes get an awful lot of respect from the crowd. Imagine the trust levels of being completely blind, being led down 800 or so meters, of course, with just a good friend or somebody you trust extremely well to take you down. Another newbie on the course. Don't forget, hashtag Kranjska Gora 2019 if you want to get in touch with us. You can follow @ParaAlpine on all of the usual social media channels. You can even see it on the start posts. @ParaAlpine. This is Neil Simpson, who's been reunited with Jamie Robertson for this. His normal guide is his brother. My understanding is that his brother's in his first year at university. Can't get the time out to be Neil's guy, but this is a teammate at the Gordon Skiers Club in Alford in Scotland, who they were watching on for the World Cup. I'm pretty sure they were all gathered around monitors this morning. Picked up a Europa Cup victory in Landgraaf in the Netherlands at the back end of 2018. British team saying that wasn't expected. But he is just 16, not long been 16 either. Hasn't even been skiing for 10 years yet, having only started when he was 7. Ducking in to the line, 9.7 seconds back, so it does leave Simpson towards the back of the pack. Dropped a lot of time in the bottom half of the course. It is all about learning for young Neil. Now, Tadeusz Kris from Czech Republic. The 3-year-old, his guide with the yellow helmet. That's Radim Neveli. Another doesn't have a vast amount of history on our screens. He did go to the games, came 12th in the giant slalom. Wasn't heavy on the World Cup circuit last year, didn't compete at the World Champs before, but did do enough to be part of the games. Somebody who only started having trouble with his vision in 2013, degenerative eye condition. Through the line he goes. So there's Kris. Australia's Patrick Jensen. Jensen and another new guy. This is Zali Offord. This, in fact, is Damir Mizrak. So apologies for that. This is Mizrak and his new guy, Ria Mikulic. So across the line they go. Mizrak goes across the line. Mizrak, time coming up just a moment, but Bertagnoli in front of Lana Hamareos.
Was not so good.
Down at the bottom end, Mizrak's run was confirmed at 1:18.54 eventually.